Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. I will never understand why people complain when they know they should arrive early to do things like this to avoid being a jerk to others. I'm honestly happy for you, OP. I can't imagine the type of rude idiots you have to deal with. So glad you can get a little bit of payback. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Be an a-hole in my line? Enjoy me wasting your time and having to rebook your flight? So I used to work at a large international airport in my town, and I worked for a company that did early bag check-in. We were stationed at the rental car center, and one of the parking lots in our services allowed passengers to check in their luggage off-site and receive their boarding passes. That way they could avoid the lines inside the airport and move through quicker. This service had a very strict 90-minute cutoff to ensure that we had enough time to get the bags to their planes. So if you were trying to check in a bag, you had to at least have an hour and a half before your flight, and our computers were on time lock, and they shut us out the second the flight hit 89 minutes and 59 seconds. There was no way around it, and we explained this to passengers often. During the holidays, as you can expect, it gets incredibly busy. Most passengers have used our services before, and they know that we were very strict with the cutoff, so they always allowed plenty of time, but there were also a ton of people who flipped their crap when they missed the cutoff. We had signs posted literally everywhere stating the cutoff. On particularly busy days, we would call out to the entire line of passengers and say something along the lines of, if anyone in line is flying out at 10 a.m. or earlier, you're too late and you need to head to the terminal for check-in because it sucked when someone had been waiting in line for 45 minutes and they get up to the counter to check in and they're a minute past the cutoff and there's nothing we can do. Enter a-hole guy. AG's about the halfway point in the line, and I'm chugging along processing passengers when I hear him. AG, hey, can you hurry it up over there? Some people have a flight to catch. Me, I'm doing my best, sir. Thank you for your patience. AG, well, your best obviously isn't good enough, so you need to go faster. I'm super annoyed at this point, and I just go back to my current passenger, apologize for the disruption, and continue on. I made a special note to go as slow as I possibly could because we had verified that most of the people in line had more than 2 hours before their flight, so I wasn't worried about anyone missing the cutoff, except this guy. I could see him getting more and more upset, constantly checking his watch and starting to look really jittery. After a while of me taking my sweet butt time, he arrives to my counter and throws his ID at me and tells me his flight time and destination. That's when I realized that after waiting in line for almost 45 minutes, this guy had made it up to the counter with 91 minutes before his flight. AG, 1 minute to spare, better type fast. Me, of course, sir. I proceeded to type as slow as humanly possible, all the while watching the clock and watching the seconds tick down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Me, oh no. Looks like I wasn't quick enough this time, sir. The computer has shut me out, and unfortunately there's not a damn thing I can do about it now. Looks like you're going to have to lug those bags all the way to the terminal. The terminal was a 10-minute shuttle ride away from where we were, and wait in line to check in down there. Next time, make sure you have more than 90 minutes when you get up to the counter. The look on his face was amazing. I could see the vein in his forehead bulging out of anger, and he snatched up his bag and stormed out, and I shouted, "Have a great flight." This idiot left in a huff so quick that he forgot his ID, and I had every opportunity to catch him before he got to the shuttle and give him his ID back, but I decided to let him figure that one out the hard way. I was off shortly after that, but later in the day, my coworkers texted me to tell me that he got all the way to the terminal, waited in line for about 30 minutes, only to get to the front and realize he had no ID, which means no bag check and no boarding the flight. He missed his flight that day, rebooked, and came back for his ID, and thought he was clever because with his flight being rebooked, he now had plenty of time to use our services. Lucky for us, we have a third-party computer system, and our info wasn't updated, so it wouldn't process him, even if we tried, because our system still had him on the first flight. Maybe next time he won't be a jerk. And our second story. I need the price to be under $150. I work at a more expensive clothing retailer. We sell more business-type clothing along with casual clothing. As a result, our casual clothing can get a bit pricey. So earlier this week, we had 3 customers walk in. I'm assuming it was a woman with her husband and her sister. So they're going around our store looking at the casual clothing. Now, keep in mind that these customers are regulars and shop here frequently, so they know our policies by heart. They ask a bunch of our staff for help, specifically for help with the women's denim shorts. They kept asking if it's BOGO free, and there's clearly a sign right on the table that says BOGO $19.99. So of course we say no and inform them of the correct deal. They do this to every associate and expect a different answer. Nope, same answer. They try everything on and come to the register, and my coworker, CW, rings them up. This is what I hear. CW, find everything okay? Woman, the wife, everything was fine, but I need to get my total under $150. I only have $150 on me. CW, okay. We'll see where the price comes to, but just by looking at everything, I think you'll be over. CW rings everything up, and sure enough, it's around $260. Woman, is that before or after the sale? CW, excuse me? Woman, there's a sale going on, right? Everything's 40% off? CW, I'm sorry, but that sale ended 3 weeks ago. Woman, oh, but the shorts rang up as buy one, get one free, right? CW, no miss, they're buy one, get one $19.99. You asked me the same question 10 minutes ago, and they aren't BOGO free. Woman, but I talked to manager's name, and he said it was buy one, get one free. CW starts getting snooty. CW, oh really? Because manager's name isn't even in. He hasn't been here all day. Woman, oh, well, someone told me. CW, ma'am, I can't change the price because you want me to. Even if an associate accidentally stated the wrong deal, I cannot alter the price due to one small error. Woman, I need the price to be under $150. Can't you just help me out? CW, if you have coupons that haven't expired, then sure, we can help you that way. Woman, what about $25 off every specific amount spent? Here, I have it on my phone. CW, that expired 3 days ago, and I can't override expired coupons. That's just how our system works. Woman, but I need it under $150. Can't you just reduce the price for me? CW, nope, I'm not allowed to, and I won't get fired because you don't have enough money. Woman, but I need it under $150. CW, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I can't offer you 15% off by signing up for our charge card because I know you have one, but I know how you can get it under $150. Woman, how? CW, by not buying everything. I don't know why, but I started laughing and had to cover my mouth to prevent myself from laughing out loud. She ended up taking off a lot of small items to get her total under $150. Why she didn't ask her husband or sister for some money, I don't know. She could have paid them back. People are weird. And our next story. How was my precious son supposed to know that a hot chocolate would be hot? This took place back when I was a teenager and working at the same local coffee shop. This woman came in with her son, who looked to be around 13 or 14 years of age, and proceeded to order a cappuccino for herself and a kid-size hot chocolate for her son. She made very sure to tell me multiple times how her precious boy wouldn't be able to drink it if it was too hot. I made sure to relay this to my coworker, who was handling all drink orders while I was at the till, as I got the vibe that very little could set this woman off. Intuition? Correct. Usually when we handle kid-sized drinks, instead of heating the milk to 150 degrees Fahrenheit like we usually do, we aim for around 100. The milk keeps rising in temperature after we're done frothing it, and the less hot the drink for a kid, the better. After completing the woman's cappuccino, my coworker allows the milk for the kid's drink to froth until 75 degrees Fahrenheit, figuring the more lukewarm, the safer she'd be. She doesn't even get a chance to ask the poor kid if he'd like whipped cream before his mom snatches up both drinks and ushers him to a table. Not 5 minutes pass before she's storming up to the counter fuming, the kid looking about to cry, out of embarrassment maybe, and she whips the half-full kid's cup at us. You made his drink so hot he burned his tongue. I specifically said not hot. This is assault. Which one of you is the effing moron that burned my son? My coworker steps forward and apologizes, a tad confused that she didn't remember which one of us made her drink, as I'm very Caucasian, and my coworker is black, and she watched her make the drinks. But apparently this wasn't enough, as she then turned to me, "Now you. How is my precious son supposed to know that a hot chocolate would be hot? Apologize for burning him. You knew this would happen and you didn't care. That's grounds for assault on a minor." Couldn't help it. I started to laugh at the absurdity of the situation before quickly getting a hold of myself. This woman saw it, though, and snatched up her son's hand to drag the embarrassed kid out of the cafe. She was ranting the entire way about never coming back and dumped her still full cappuccino into the trash on the way out. Still think about that kid sometimes. And if he ever realized that hot chocolates are, in fact, hot. And our last story. Landlord stole my car. I've been renting a parking space behind a house in a large city for 8 years now. I keep a vehicle there that I don't use very much. When I went to check on it last, it was gone. Found out that it has been towed away by the landlord, LL, and subsequently scrapped. Apparently they didn't know whose car it was and they wanted to give the space to a new tenant in the building. The landlord is a professional investment and property management company with a number of properties in the area, but nonetheless a small family-run business. Apparently there was some poor record keeping. The son had to take over the business, and this was an honest mistake, but a mistake nonetheless, and I intend to seek compensation. I've been paying rent on the parking spot continually with bank checks that say parking at XX Road with my name and address. I have a lease for parking at XX address with our names and contact info. I have email records with landlord from when I bought the vehicle, notifying him that I had a new car with make, model, color, and confirming my contact info, phone number, etc. I never received any notice about disposing of the vehicle or terminating the lease, not by phone, mail, or email. LL claims that he was unable to contact me and apparently thought the checks he was cashing were for another parking spot. I'm thinking to ask for the current Blue Book value of the vehicle plus any rent overpaid since it was towed, and then formally terminate the lease and release all responsibility for the vehicle to the LL, in case the towing company comes after me for the towing and storage fees. I'll consult with a lawyer and just put it into writing and bring to the landlord. Court's only for people who cannot otherwise agree. The landlord's son, who's had to take over the business since his father developed Alzheimer's, seems like an honest man. I expect that he'll just write me a check if I have a lawyer, do my homework, and ask only for a fair and reasonable compensation. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.